Here's a basic orientation of how to navigate in a Google Sheet. We have a spreadsheet here with neighborhood, population, the white population, black population, a little calculation looking at the difference between the two, and salary. So when you're presented with this, sometimes it comes in, you download this data, comes in a format that isn't really easily understood. To better understand the columns and to see the format, I am highlighting the whole sheet, and I'm going to go to a spot between column B and column C, or you could do it between C and D. See how the cursor has just turned black? Just double click it, and it's going to widen the sheet to the widest value in the entire sheet, and it makes it easy to read. One of the things to navigate here very quickly, using a Mac keyboard, there's the command key, that little Apple key, so you hold that down, and a right arrow will take you to the furthest column that still has data. It stops at the blank. Command left arrow takes you back, and then a command down arrow will take you all the way down to the furthest value before the blank. And you can do that. This is a way of just sort of navigating around the sheet to see how big it is. So you can see we actually have 278 rows of data here. It says 279, but remember, up here are the headers. And we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns of specific data here. If we wanted to insert an index row, which is important for sorting later on, I'm going to highlight a row, and I'm going to go Control click, insert one column to the left. I'm going to call this an index. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to just type in a couple numbers, 1, 2, 3, and then Shift and Command arrow, and I've highlighted everything. I'm just going to drag this all the way down, and what it's doing is just about there. So it's creating an index. It's just adding one after another. This is important to keep the original order of the data in the event we want to show it to our source and so forth, because we're going to be copying and duplicating it. Now, one thing, let's say this is the original data set. In order to really start doing the analysis, I'm going to go Control click on this tab and duplicate. So that has just created a copy of the original. And so we could keep that in the background, and we can work on this copy and keep this as the source. We could rename this as source. So that way we can mess up here on the copy, and if there is something that the cat walks on your keyboard, or there's a power outage, or some other bizarre thing, you can go back and figure out what happened here with the source. So always work with a copy of your data. Another thing is I created a tab here called Data Dictionary. You can create tabs yourself by just adding a sheet. You can call this My Sheet. You can talk, put whatever you want in there. I created a data dictionary, and this is where I got my data from. Open Baltimore. It's a project of the University of Baltimore Law School. And actually, I misspoke. This is the city's data portal. And I can find out, remind myself that this is from the city and a URL where it was, and if I want to go back and get it, I can look at it. And I had pulled this down back in April of 2022. So there we go. What else here? So we've inserted a row. You could we inserted a column. You could do the same thing if you wanted to insert a row. You just highlight row, insert one row above. Say you wanted to get rid of that, delete row. And lastly, if you wanted to format this is a dummy salary column. We wanted to put this in dollar signs. Just hit format as currency, put it in dollars. So we don't want the decimals there. We can shrink the decimals and just make it like that. A quick introduction to how to navigate and format sheets. More later. Thank you.